Alright, finally back at it. Got all my suspension parts here. I've gone ahead, removed the paint off these axle tubes where the spring mount's going to be. So we'll get those measured out, centered up, and we can get all the rest of that stuff unboxed. Do some measuring, get my spring hangers welded on, or tacked on at least, make sure everything's square and nice. So hopefully by the end of this video we'll have the axles at least tack welded all together and all measured out and exactly where we need it to be, and then we can start figuring out where I'm going to put the tongue and get that all going. So here we go. Alright, I got these mounts tacked on. This will be spring under axle, so this is actually how the axle will mount under the trailer. So we'll get these flipped upside down. We'll get this cleared off a little bit, get that ramp moved, and I'll set up something in the middle to reference off of so we can triangulate this suspension, make sure it's all square. So give me a minute, we'll get this cleared off, we'll get the rest of our hangers out, we'll get it all, do a little math, see where we want the axles, get it all squared up and tacked on. Alright, I got my center hangers on there. I put the centers, put them at 13 feet. So it's a little bit more than 60% of the trailer. But it should work out nice. Anyway, I've put me a little piece here to reference off of, right in the center. So I can reference off that and get my axles square to the deck here. And then I've centered these. Now I'll have to come through, and the rear axle will square off of the center hangers here, but I'll take the front hangers and measure off how far. The manufacturer calls for 32 inches between the center of this hole and the center of this hanger. So we'll measure off that hanger, we'll get those on there, and then we'll double check the squareness off the center here, and that will keep that axle square. So now that these are square, the rear's good, we'll measure off here, get the front square, we'll get the back hangers on, and should have those pretty good. And then we'll get the axles on there and just double check, make sure the axles are parallel. You know, if they're off a little bit side to side to where the trailer track's a little weird, that's fine. As long as the axles are parallel, we won't be eating tires. So let's get those front hangers set out there and squared up. Here we go. Alrighty guys, got those tacked on. Get the leaf springs in them here and make sure everything's looking straight. I squared them up, so they're tacked on in there. Should be final resting place here. I'm gonna get the leaf springs in there, and then I can slide the axles in and just kind of loosely bolt everything up, make sure it's all square. And if it all checks out, we'll burn them in, and then we can start on the tongue. So here we go. Alright, let's do the other side. Alright, that was a lot of just assembling this thing, and it's all hand tight, but it's just a lot of putting everything together is a little boring, and it was kind of tough by myself, so I didn't bother putting it in the edit. But I got it all together. Looks pretty good. I've measured it off these flat spots here from spindle to spindle on both sides, and it is dead nuts. 36 1/4, so they're gonna run parallel. They should be pretty dang square to the frame, but I gotta go get some stuff done this afternoon, so tonight after I get the kids down, got some time to come out here and fart around. I'll get this all tore back apart. We'll do some welding, get everything burned in, and then take a couple quick measurements and see how long we're gonna need for this tongue pieces. I got my tongue channel down there. So we'll get these axles burned in and then figure out the tongue. But it's coming along. Over here I went today and had my tires and rims mounted. And I haven't decided, I think I want to paint the trailer white, but I've also seen some trailers now that are gray with the black wheels. But I think white with the black wheels look pretty slick too. So these wheels are heavy enough, and then these tires are 12-ply tires. Technically on a 14,000 GVW trailer, you can get away with 10 plies, but I had a good deal on 12, so why not? Well, I got those all mounted today, so we'll get these burned in tonight, and then get the hubs and everything assembled. The bad part is, I haven't quite measured it, but that door is 103 inches wide. I don't know if this is going to go through assembled, so we'll probably have to get everything welded, take it all back apart, and then get the tongue on. That's the other thing, the tongue, once I put the tongue on, it's too long, I can't close the door, so I have to get it all mocked up and ready, and then plan a day, get somebody here with something to flip this thing over, and then can get this thing out of here. But it is looking good so far, so thanks for watching.